Test. Looks like it's recording. Adam, was this your chance to figure out if I talk to myself? If so, you got me. Well, if you do end up listening to this, just know that I'm really grateful that you reached out to me and asked me to be on the pod. It's been a tough day with all the insurance stuff. And when you said that, I was like, wow, that'll make me feel like a real comedian to talk about my comedy. And I really appreciate it. So thank you. This and making soufgagnon will be the highlight of my day. Although, to be honest, I had intended to fully make the soufgagnon, and then last night we got home, Irene and I was like, I'm going to start the dough, but I want to figure out this health insurance thing quick first. And then I ended up spending, the next 4 hours on the phone, and then in a catatonic state because it was so infuriating. And then she ended up doing all of the dough yesterday, and then today I helped a little bit, and then we were going to make the fried up and stuff. And then I ended up spending another 4 hours on the phone with my insurance company and didn't end up getting to help. So it ended up being mostly Irene making them and then me popping in every once in a while between screaming, frankly, F words and worse at insurance representatives. So it'll be nice to have a more civil conversation with somebody. Well, people on the street are really looking at me. Test. I've just put on the headphones now. And I certainly am getting sounds in the headphones. I wonder what these buttons do. Nice! Okay, so I just got an email that they fully canceled my health insurance. But on the bright side, now I can just pay out of pocket for the euthanasia pills. Yeah, so I asked for a little bit of I kept calling people and I was like, hey, is there a chance that I could get this covered? And then what they kept saying to me was, all right, so for this next sound effect, I'm not going to check what it is. I'm just going to say something, and hopefully it lines up with the sound effect. Let me think. So my parents are getting a divorce. That is genuinely how I would feel about that. But it's not true. They're not getting a divorce. They're still unhappily married. Yeah, that's right. I said unhappily married. Thank you. Yep. No. Please. It seems like we've got a couple of incels out there. Am I right? Yeah. All right, Adam Mitrani is in the bathroom. He probably wants to get back here soon to come do the pod. Or I'm gonna keep modifying the pod. I wonder if he's getting this freestyle on record. Hitting the chords and saying I'm bored cause I'm sitting here alone. Not scrolling on my phone, just freestyling. Freaky styling and filing and saying things about time. Trying to figure out a rhyme. Playing. I think it's recording, and I was just playing with the button.
Recording. Yeah.
Okay, so you just got about 6 minutes of pod.
That's awesome. That's why I knew you'd be the perfect guest because you don't even need me, man. Like most guests, they need me. They need me, the host. But you don't even need me, dude.
No, I found out that this button makes a beat, and I was freestyling over it.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let me make sure. Is this muted? Yeah. Okay. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here. It's good to see you. It's been a little bit.
Should we just take these off?
Yeah, you just take them off.
Great. Yeah, I guess it's unnecessarily hot.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've seen each other.
Yeah, when was the last? I couldn't say when the last time we saw each other was. Is it interesting podcast material for us to speculate?
It definitely wasn't at your wedding. I'll tell you that.
Oh, for viewers out there, for any viewers, that's a reference to the fact that Adam didn't come off of our wait list for the wedding.
It's okay.
Even though he was the one that inspired me to first call my now ex-girlfriend my girlfriend.
Your
current wife.
Ex-girlfriend, current wife. Yeah. Yeah. No, we got today on the pod. We got the one and only. We got the white guy in a kimono. We got Eli Ruffer.
Let's go.
I don't normally do intros. I normally just get into it. But I came in here. We were already recording. Eli dropped a verse. Man, like that doesn't happen every day.
Hey, I had 6 minutes. That was a full song.
There was somebody. Look, I wasn't taking a shit. There was somebody. I was in the bathroom. I just had to pee. There was somebody in there that I was waiting for them to get. Because I wouldn't. And I'm only saying this because I want you to know. I told you I had to pee, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I said I had to pee. I'm an honest person. If I had to shit, I'd say I have to shit. Yeah. I also would still be in there.
Yeah, that is true.
I'd still be in there. Do you take long poops because of the Crohn's?
So you were a rapper in high school, right?
Yeah, I was a rapper. Yeah.
Do you ever freestyle still?
It's been a minute. I actually, I was hanging out with like Liam and Eric, and they were fucking around with the keyboard, and I was freestyling. But that was the first time in a while.
How long?
How long was I freestyling for? Or how
no,
long
and how long had it been since you?
Dude, I don't know, years, man.
Wow. Does it feel like that was like the passion that you gave up on to pursue stand-up comedy?
In a way, yes, but I also think that I am much more suited for stand-up comedy than I am for
like
rapping.
race-wise, or?
Well, I mean, not just that. I think more personality-wise.
Okay.
Like, I think that, I don't know. I was talking about this with Max Higgins the other day about, like, how much, like, I loved, like, rap growing up and how much, like, different rappers meant to me. And I was thinking about it. I'd never really thought about this before, but I think that there was, like, something about, like, the bravado of hip-hop and, like, the ego that I loved, I think, because of how like, shy and insecure I was.
Oh. And it was a chance for you to express the things that you wouldn't have felt expressing outside of rap music.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think also just for like, there were most of the rappers I listened to, like it wasn't like I didn't relate to Jay-Z in any way, who was like my favorite rapper for a long time. Like I'm like that's the coolest guy ever. He's not relatable in any way, especially now. I mean, now he's he's a billionaire. Like, he cheated on the most beautiful woman alive. Like, he's like.
I don't think he was ever dating Irene.
Nice, dude.
That's my wife.
Nice.
I also didn't mean that as a joke. I think she is the most beautiful woman alive. But anyway, we could continue. Hey. For a little while you were gone, I was trying to say things and then not knowing what the sound effect was going to be. And then I would say it and I was like, yeah, so my parents are getting a divorce.
Is that true?
No, and then I was like, that's not true. Unfortunately, they're still unhappily married.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's right. I said unhappily married. And that's a recreation of what you guys have already seen as viewers of the pod. Do I call them viewers?
Viewers, listeners.
As tasters of the pod.
Yeah, I gotta give them. They gotta have a name, man. You know, like how like people give their fans names.
Mitrani,
like,
Don.
Yeah, we'll think of something. Is that true? Your parents are unhappily married?
Wait, is that like piano coming from somewhere?
It's probably just music from the bookstore.
Oh, I see. Wait, so we were talking about.
I've asked you two questions and you just throw it back at me. Although, to be fair, the two questions I've asked you are, do you take long poops and are your parents unhappily married? So...
but yeah, it makes sense that... Do you feel like comedy allows you to express parts of yourself that you don't otherwise express?
Yeah, I think comedy allows me to be honest in a way that I think I otherwise would have like a hard time being. I think that
Being honest with whom?
I mean,
like portraying yourself to the world in
Yes.
some more honest way, or even like taking an inward look.
I think both.
Okay.
I think both because I think it allows you to be like reflective. I don't know. What about you? How do you feel about that?
About if comedy allows you
Yeah, to express parts of yourself that you otherwise wouldn't express.
Yeah, I think sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a few times in the past year that I was doing a show in like a random tiny town in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, like right on the border between West Virginia and Ohio, for example. For like 15 people that I had never met, was never going to see again. People who like had very little in common with me.
Sure.
I was the first Jewish person that most of them had met.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
I don't
the last.
Maybe. No, after meeting me, they were like, I wouldn't mind meeting another one. Like,
Did they actually say that?
not in those words, but one of them was like, it was interesting meeting a Jewish person like you because you're not like I thought they all were.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember exactly what he had thought, but anyway, the reason I bring it up is because there were things that I told the audience in that show that I've never told my family.
Right. Yeah, I think sometimes I have a hard time with that because I don't know how like involved or supportive are like your parents in your comedy?
Very supportive, not very involved.
Okay, so but do they watch your Instagram videos or like
Yeah.
if they're like would they listen to this?
This,
Yeah.
I think given what I've said already, I won't share with that.
But like if because I think that my parents like they do listen to this and like they do watch all my stuff, but I think it's because there's ways I want to be honest with my parents and then ways I want to be honest with strangers, and that's not necessarily always the same. I think in terms of like what I want to reveal about myself.
How does it differ?
I think maybe it's just certain subjects like I don't know, like sex. I think
Okay.
I don't really have like a problem being like open about sex or like talking about it, like, and it's not like a huge part of my act, but like I have jokes about it, but I definitely do feel less comfortable even though like my parents like they don't care. Like if I do sex jokes, it might not be their favorite jokes, but they're like I actually had a bit about how my mom told me she didn't like the sex jokes, and I was like, yeah, they're not for you. Like it'd be weird if you were like love those sex jokes, you know.
Okay.
But okay, so
But you like expressing those things to strangers. Like that is still accessing a part of yourself that is nice to be able to access.
I think so. I think there's something about like I think that if it's like something that you might be like embarrassed or like ashamed of, it's like that's like kind of the most important stuff to talk about in comedy. And I think that once I think that there's like a lot of talk about like shame these days, about like if it's like good, people are like pro shame, anti shame, and I think it's like good to feel shame, but like to not like let it overpower you, you know. And it's like if you like talk about a thing that you're ashamed of, and you recognize that feeling, but you don't let it own you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how you could go about recognizing the shame without letting it own you. And I imagine one way would be to examine where it comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I try to do with like a lot of the more difficult emotions. Like every time I get anxious, which is a lot, you know, I always try and think, okay, why am I anxious? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, do I have like a job interview? Like, am I hungry? Like, I have a show tonight. Like, it's just like, and once you figure out like what is the reason for this, and you're like, okay, it's okay that I feel anxious because I have things to feel anxious about. You know, and it's like once you recognize that, then I think it's a little bit less controlling.
Well, anxiety is also a physiological response.
Yeah,
and sometimes you get divorced from
from
the like trigger, and then you're actually not anxious about anything. You're just holding on to the physiological like fight or flight mode.
Yeah, exactly.
In my limited anxiety experience,
you're not an anxious guy.
I'm an extreme. Yeah. My extremely limited. Would you believe me if I said no? I'm not an anxious guy.
You're like squirming around as you say that.
Yeah.
Do you get Woody Allen? Do people tell you that?
Yeah.
You kind of look. I think maybe it's the haircut you got right now, and maybe the everything about you. You're like a better looking Woody Allen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Usually people just say you look like Woody Allen. No, when I first started in Minnesota, people would say that a lot.
Yeah.
And I did attribute it to the fact that there are like a lot.
There's not a lot of Jews.
Right. Not a lot of Jews, and people are like, oh, your ethnicity is Woody Allen's ethnicity, so you have similar facial features. But yeah, sometimes people who are maybe a little more well-versed in the Jewish ethnicity
have also said that.
Yeah.
And that is... So are you a fan of his work? I know you love him as a guy.
As a guy, it's not that I love him, it's that I aspire to make a lot of the decisions he's made. I don't love God, but I fear him. No, I don't know if there's divorcing, which
well, obviously, look, we're like divorcing everything about him.
I haven't consumed any Woody Allen in quite a long time.
Yeah,
I would say the last time I consumed Woody Allen
was when you were a child, and it was by force.
No, not even.
I was making it.
Oh, Woody Allen joke.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry. Did you know that's it?
I did. Okay, I could hear it.
We don't have the headphones on, so we can't. No, I mean Woody Allen's comedy, like his stand-up that I've watched, is so
good.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and like the anxiety that he channels into this like guy that somehow just like is thought after thought after thought after thought is compelling.
Yeah. So who were your like early influences in stand-up?
Dimitri Martin, Mitch Hedberg, and Stephen Wright.
Okay, so very much like one-liner guys, like very much like joke guys. Also, all guys who like carried sort of an anxiety with them on stage, I think.
Yeah,
and I think most comics do.
But each one in their own.
One in their own specific way.
Yeah.
And then and what drew you to them? Also, how old were you at like when you got into stand up?
When I got into this guy in high school gave me Dimitri Martin's book. This is a book when we were
that book. Yeah,
it's so good.
So good.
When we were on the bus to a debate tournament, so I think I was probably either 15 or 16.
Okay.
And then I read it and I thought it was so funny, like sitting on the bus. And then that's when I started getting into it. And then I started keeping jokes in my phone.
Oh, really?
Like So whenever I'd have a thought, I would write down a joke. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go backwards from ages 0 to 15.
Okay.
What were you like? What were you into?
Wow.
Like before stand up became like a presence in your life. What were your interests?
Oh, well, I loved music. I guess I went to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert in second grade.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was very cool. And then from then on, I was like obsessed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I was really into music. And I like played music alone in my room a lot. I played in bands in high school. And
what'd you play?
Bass. And now I play guitar and other stuff.
But and the bands that you were in, what kind of music were you making?
Well, there was one band in middle school that we didn't make any music. We just came up with band names.
Dude, I had the same thing. Yeah.
And then made like Facebook accounts and then like my new band, The Summit.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was my. Do you remember any of the band names?
Yeah, I remember one was Next, and then I think that
Next.
Maybe
that's good.
I think because of the MTV show Next. I think we had to make the page Next parentheses the band. And then I was a rap duo called Milk Chocolate.
Were you Milk?
I was I was Milk and my friend Alex was Chocolate.
That's good.
That one we never recorded any music. It's funny actually. Alex did start like rapping after high school.
Yeah.
So we like never actually made any music together, but we did.
Does he still?
Both rap.
Is he making a career of it?
No, I don't know what he's doing. I know he just got engaged, so I'm very happy for him. He's living in Harrisburg, I believe. Not sure what he's doing, or if he's still making music, but Yeah, we created like a whole. I talked about this on an earlier episode. We created like a whole lore around it of like we had like lists of albums and song titles and like, but like we never
Albums
made
that
any
you
music.
intended to make, or like Gorillaz style fake backstory.
Yeah, like that, like fake backstory.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, but
I like that.
Yeah, what kind of music were you into? So obviously you said Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I was obsessed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. By high school, I guess I loved Dr. Dog. Was this band that was I?
Are they from Chicago, Dr. Dog?
No, they're from Philadelphia.
Philly. Okay, all right.
But I people in my high school like would call me Dr. Dog because I was so obsessed in a way that I, looking back, maybe wish was a little less of my identity. But
yeah,
that's okay.
They really, I mean, they have like a cult like following.
Yeah, people are
they
obsessed
really
with them.
do. Yeah,
myself included. I think I've seen them probably like 10 times.
That's your
live.
fish.
Yeah, they were. No longer.
Yeah, no longer.
No, I mean, I think I can. Do you experience this where like I was way too obsessed with something and got kind of embarrassed about liking it?
Yeah.
Even though like Dr. Dog is not an embarrassing band to like, but it was just I staked so much of my personality in it that then I was like, oh, I can't even touch that. And only recently do I have enough distance to where I'll like occasionally put on a record of theirs and be like, okay, this is nice, and I can connect with this part of myself without being embarrassed or whatever.
Yeah, I've certainly had that with different things. I'm trying to think of like who that would be. Maybe Jay-Z is somebody
who you feel like you were too.
I think I was a little too into him, and like I was sort of like just obsessed with his whole like oeuvre, like I mean he's like I said, he's so
a brand.
Cool. Yeah, he's so cool, and he also like it makes sense that he is like an incredible businessman. He's incredible at marketing, and like I think like not only did I like the music, I do think he's one of the best rappers ever. I think Kendrick's the best ever, but I
don't disagree.
I think Jay-Z is up there, but it is like his whole like he is so good at like understanding the game of it, where it's like, and it's so interesting how like I mean I think he's, as much as I love his music, like I think I have a hard time listening to him now that I understand capitalism a little bit more.
Because you can see how much it's influenced by capitalism?
Yeah, because I can see that truly he is like, he has, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. And it's like, he clearly is like, he's a capitalist at heart. Like he made money selling drugs and then was able to like legitimize himself through a rap career. And it was just like.
But you think he like very strategically staked out a niche within some rap music market?
I don't even know that there was a niche that he staked out, because it is like, it's pretty mainstream, and he like was never.
I'm not calling him niche. I just mean in the sense that when somebody finds like a vacuum in a market, like any business would, as opposed to somebody who feels a calling to be an artist.
I guess so. It's hard to tell, because also he is so good that clearly there clearly was like a calling there. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's so good at it.
He's really, really good.
And his early stuff is like some of the best stuff just because of like the hunger you can hear it. Like I do think that he had like, I guess, I mean, there's obviously the money motivation, but I think that like a lot of rappers and a lot of artists, he had that like competitive drive of like feeling like, oh, I could be one of the best people to ever do this. Okay. And like caring about that aspect of it, which I think that was one of the things that really drew me to him. Of also like, like I said, like I was a shy, insecure kid who didn't feel like he was good at anything. And so it was like listening to this guy be like, I'm the best. And saying it so confidently in a way where like I fully believed it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, but
I think I'm just curious about where I agree that sometimes you listen and you're like, oh, there's some capitalist agenda or like some way that he's capitalized. I don't know. I think I was curious where capitalism comes in for you compared to him just being like, I'm really good at this. I'm an artist and I'm doing this.
I think it's just that like, I don't know. You just don't become like a billionaire by accident.
No.
I think that's kind of what it is.
Is he a billionaire?
He is a billionaire.
That's great.
Yeah. Good for him, But I think it's just like, yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. And I think I enjoy it. less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I also am like, there's certain music where I'm like, I listened to this so much when I was younger that I just don't feel the urge to listen to it as much. The Beatles, I go through phases with them.
Oh.
Where they still do really hold, like, that was like my first favorite band. They still like really hold a special place in my heart, and I still do actually listen to them.
Yeah, it's so nice to
quite a
turn
bit. Yeah. So who else? So Dr. Dog. Who else was like? Who are you guys?
My guys. Well, I loved Franz Ferdinand. That was like the first concert I ever picked to go to.
Yeah.
I liked them. I liked Delta Spirit. They were like a Lollapalooza find or something. Because I would go to Lollapalooza in early high school.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, ooh, I know the small print names, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's a cool feeling.
Yeah, it felt
I do
cool
remember that feeling of like discovering artists and being like, I know who's because obviously I was talking about how much I love Jay-Z. I was also like very into like indie and like underground rap, who like most of those artists are now huge, you know. But like
Chance.
Yeah, like Chance was a big one. Childish Gambino, Mac Miller, who obviously like I knew him personally, so that one was different. But like Kendrick,
Viper.
Viper.
He does that one that's like, what's up with that? You cowards don't even smoke crack.
I don't think I know that guy.
Oh, it's really good. You should
Okay.
He released like 360 albums in the year like 2016 or something.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Are you fucking with me? Is he a real guy?
Yeah, he released like an album a day.
No way.
I mean, you could listen afterwards.
I'll look it up after. I don't want to fact check you on air. But yeah, my first concert was Spoon. That was the first concert.
Oh, where?
At the Forum in Harrisburg.
Okay. With
my parents.
Fun.
Yeah, I saw them on SNL. They played The Underdog.
And then you asked to go to the concert?
And they were coming. I think so. Yeah, or I think that they like I don't know. My parents were like always kind of just supportive of whatever I was into.
Okay.
And so I was really into music, and I think that I don't remember if they saw that they were coming and they knew that I liked them. I don't know how that came about.
Okay.
But I do know we went, and they're great. They're so good.
Got it.
Yeah. Were you into movies?
Not really. My brother showed me Fight Club, and just like with Dr. Dog, I got way into Fight Club.
Into Fight Club?
Yeah,
that's a classic one. Yeah.
But there was a period of like 2 years where every single time I made a new friend, and I didn't notice I was doing this, somebody pointed it out to me, but every single time I made a new friend, I had them watch Fight Club with me.
Whether or not they had seen it?
Well, I think they hadn't
seen it. It is a great movie, and it holds up pretty well.
Sure.
I'm trying to think. I definitely had movies
that you were just like
that. I watched The Lord of the Rings like every day.
Really?
Like when I was like...
It doesn't show.
I don't even know I don't know if that's like I feel like that is like an insult that it doesn't show.
No, I meant it in a nice way. It's more of an insult if it were to show that you watched Lord of the Rings.
I didn't know if you meant it in a way of like, people that watch Lord of the Rings are smart.
Oh, no.
Because I didn't read the books, man.
Oh, I haven't read the books or watched the movies.
You haven't read any book.
That's not true.
I don't care. You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
Not
that doesn't show.
Yeah.
No, I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Okay. I loved Star Wars.
Three Musketeers.
Really?
Robin Hood. King
Which
Arthur.
Robin Hood? Like the 50s one?
The character. All of them. I watched every single Robin Hood movie.
Huh.
Up until a point. This is when I was like, this is like pre-middle school, basically.
Oh.
So this is young Adam.
Young. Okay, yeah. I was saying like high school things.
Okay, yeah.
I was having a hard time remembering. My like second grade obsessed movie was Spaceballs. The Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah. Is there another one?
Did you think it was going to be a list?
No. You said the Mel Brooks movie. I was like, is there another Spaceballs?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I just couldn't tell if you...
I knew what it was.
I don't know. I feel like you're young. Your viewers are pretty young, right?
My parents? Oh, yeah. Dude, I got 2-year-olds watching this.
Really?
Yeah.
So for those 2-year-olds out there who don't know, Spaceballs is a movie by Mel Brooks that I first watched when I was about 2. It's a little bit too young.
Did you really? Were you actually that? That was like one of the first movies you ever watched?
It's definitely one of the first, but I probably wasn't 2. I think I was probably 5 or 6. Still too young.
You know, also I loved Spider-Man.
The Tobey Maguire one?
Again, I was like
Just
obsessed.
the character. Okay,
I was obsessed with character. I did love the Tobey Maguire movies. Those are like, and those are like some. I was watching Across the Spider-Verse yesterday on the plane back from Chicago. Incredible movie, so good. You seen it?
No. I'll be honest. I'm pretty bad about watching.
Yeah, you don't. What do you do? Are you a big reader?
Yeah, I guess so.
What's the last book you read?
So I'm currently reading The Ministry for the Future and one other book that I don't remember what it's called because I just got it at the library. Mm-hmm. But a few nights ago, my wife and some friends and
How fun is it to say my wife?
Is
quite
it
awesome?
Fun. Yeah.
That's
no, it's delightful. I had this idea to do like a wrapped year of books.
Oh, okay.
So we each put together a PowerPoint presentation. There were 4 of us of all the books that we read this year.
Yeah.
And did like a little analysis of kind of like trends that we were noticing and like we just walked through all the books that we read and it was very fun. It's pretty front of mind that I read like 22 books this year.
That's good.
Thanks. And I liked a lot of them. Before the one that I am currently, the most recent book that I finished is called Brood.
Mm-hmm. You know, Anthony Jeselnik reads like 100 books a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they all one-liner books?
No, they're like novels. Like,
how do you know that about him?
I follow him on Instagram.
And he posts about it?
He posts his favorite books every year, like his favorite books of the year, and
there's 100 of them? Or?
No, he's usually a top 10, but he says the number that he's like I read like 100. Like that's like 2 books a week.
I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But also,
he has days that are free because he's a stand-up comedian and he doesn't have kids or a wife.
Well, I also like when I've been touring and stuff, you put on an audiobook. I don't know if he counts audiobook.
That's true. He must. There's no, because I just don't know how you would be able to read that many books unless you're counting audiobooks.
But I think
is fine.
I think I count audiobooks.
Yeah.
But like if you're on the road and when I've had, a 10-hour drive.
Sure, you can listen to
that's
a
one book.
Yeah. Or even like, you're doing stuff throughout like whatever your daily chores or whatever are. Like,
but I mean specifically Anthony Jeselnik.
Anthony Jeselnik, yeah.
Road dog. I assume.
Probably. So who do you okay. I'm trying to think so when did you start doing stand-up?
In college.
In college? And you went to school in Minnesota. What school?
Mm-hmm. Carleton College.
Carleton.
Yeah.
What did you study?
Chemistry.
Why?
I liked it.
What did you like about it?
I guess 2 things. The first is that when I was in high school, I did better than this one friend in chemistry who I was competitive with, and he did better than me in every other class. And so I was like, I like chemistry because it makes me feel good. And then when I got to chemistry, I had a crush on a girl who was in a lot of chemistry classes, and so I took more chemistry classes. So that's the sort of like more superficial answer. The other thing that I liked is that so much of it was like very abstract thinking and puzzle making. I loved like organic chemistry, which was all that, like you memorize all these different pathways that reactions can take place through, or like different kind of combinations of chemicals that could be put together to create a third thing, and like with byproducts and stuff. And I loved like the puzzle of putting things together and trying to figure out where to go with it. And like, I just remember, it's been a long time, so I don't remember the names of everything, but I remember there were types of problems that were like synthesis problems, and I loved doing synthesis problems. And there was other ones that I think they were called pathways, where you like draw where the you just like follow where the electrons go to get from point A to point B to sort of figure out what like the rate limiting step of a given reaction is, and how to better understand what's going on to get from the initial thing to the final thing. And I just always thought that those were really interesting ways of thinking. And then I like more like quantum and thermodynamics, and all those were just, it was just a really interesting way of thinking. And then I didn't like the careers in it because they weren't as intellectually stimulating. They were like more kind of, lab technician stuff. I didn't want to get a PhD because it was like so specific.
Yeah.
And I liked the more broad stuff that I got to learn in school, which is why I now like read a lot. And a lot of the books, most of the books I read this year were nonfiction about my favorite part of my reading thing was that I drew a timeline of when the different books that I was reading took place. So it was this like sheet of paper that started at, what was it, like 38 billion years ago? Because the longest ago book took place at the dawn of the universe. And then the like most future book went up to the year 2040. So I like drew out when all of my different books took place, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. So that's interesting about chemistry. I didn't really understand anything you were saying just now, which is, but that's on me. That's not on you. Chemistry, legitimately hardest class I've ever taken. I didn't understand it at all in 10th grade. Like I nearly failed.
Okay. And, I think that's part of what I was drawn to was the fact
how hard it was. That it's hard for people.
The fact that it was hard for other people, and for me it made sense.
Other people who are smart, too.
Other people who were really smart. And I was like, oh, this is something I get. And it's fun getting something that other people don't seem to, and it made me feel smart.
Sure, yeah. I think that's how... I definitely felt that way more so with like there were certain math classes that I took where like.
Did you study math in college?
No, I didn't. But it, like early, like middle school and high, like I was in like advanced math up until calculus, like pre-calc calculus, and then I was like, I don't really understand this shit. Okay. But everything before that, it was like my grades would not be that good because I just didn't study or anything. But when I studied, I do so well. Like if I even put in the little bit of effort, and it felt so good to be like, I get this. Yeah. But no, I studied film and English. Okay. Yeah, so that was more like that is how I felt in English. I do remember kids that like getting better grades on my papers than the kids who were like good students, and just being like feeling so good about it. I was just like, I didn't even try on that shit, and I'm just, or like I remember spelling tests early on in like elementary school, dude. I did so well on spelling tests, and I felt so good, which is like not a hard thing. What was my secret? Yeah. I don't know. I just like words, I think. Okay. I think words are something that has just, even now, like, I love, but something I do, I just, when I'm like, sometimes I'll like look at my keyboard and just like make words. Like I'm staring at it, just looking at different like patterns to make words, almost like that spelling bee game on the New York Times Games app. I feel like the more I say this, the dumber I sound. You're like, I just love all these like problems you can create with chemistry, and I'm just like, dude, you ever like thought about like, you ever thought about how letters make words? You ever thought about how like all the words are just made up of letters?
Sorry that I was basically just letting you talk. So it's like I don't know what to say. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I like.
Can you explain more what you look at your keyboard and you'll see?
Like I'll see. Okay, so like I'll see like the different, because it's not alphabetical.
Yeah, it's like a QWERTY.
Yeah, so I'll just look at it and see the like different like patterns you can make like to create words,
like with adjacent keys.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I guess the adjacent part is important, because otherwise it's just like, yeah, dude, yeah, that's all the words. All the words are there. Every English word is on that keyboard. But no, it's I would like look at without like skipping over, like how can you create different words. Okay.
Sorry for being for laughing at you.
No. It's a comedy podcast. That's
in the words of a comedian who I bet we both look up to a lot.
Comedy. We're all gonna laugh at you. Oh, okay. Mark Norman, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I bet we're both huge fans of his.
He's my best friend.
Really?
No. I don't know. He's the best person to do it. That's him on every podcast.
For those who are just either listening or smelling the podcast, you're going to want to look at what Adam did.
Yeah.
Check out the video.
Turn on the video just for that 1 second of me moving. What was your so you started doing stand-up in college while you're studying chemistry. That's also, I think I'm fascinated by that because it's such an odd combination. Like whenever, because like I think film and English, that's like pretty normal. Like that's pretty adjacent to what we're doing, you know. And I think that is what a lot of the people that you meet that do comedy, like it is
film and TV,
English, you know,
philosophy,
stuff that like you're like, oh, I can see. So anytime anybody's even remotely scientific, like I don't know what's her name. She just moved here from Chicago. Alex Burr. You know her? Yeah. Isn't she? She's a chemistry professor, right? Yeah. Like that. I'm like, how are you doing both of these things?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was that I was really worried about being practical in my degree. Yeah. And like, my older brothers are both, one's a software engineer, one's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I didn't think I was going to really give an earnest shot to being a comedian. At the time, my pipe dream was being a musician, and I played in bands in college and so it wasn't until after college that I looked back and was like, oh, I majored in chemistry, I minored in Spanish. I literally like did the credit bare minimum and everything for both of those, and spent all of my time outside of that doing music, comedy, pottery, like stuff like that. That was like just like playing pranks on campus and like I just spent so much more time playing music and working on my stand-up routine, much to the detriment of my grades. And it wasn't until afterwards that I was like, oh, I don't want to do chemistry. I want to do comedy. I just didn't think I was allowed to.
Okay, interesting. So, but you said you did debate in high school, but you didn't think about being a lawyer? How much older are your siblings?
Well, we're every 2 years. So the lawyer is 4 years older than me.
Okay, so he wasn't a lawyer yet. He was like when you're in high school, he's in college.
Yeah.
And it's just it's all boys. You got 2 older brothers?
2 older brothers and a younger sister.
What's she do?
She is a dance movement therapist.
Dance movement therapist.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of broke the doors up. You broke that glass ceiling of you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly. No, but she's got a very rad career.
Yeah, does she live here in New York?
No, Chicago.
Chicago? All 3 of them in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she the only one that's out of the hometown?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's pretty nice for me. I mean.
Yeah? Are you close with them?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I love them so much. I mean, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
No, my sister and I are very close, especially, and my brothers and I are close as. Yes, we are close.
Well, I feel I don't know. I just because that's another thing, kind of like the chemistry where I'm like, it's just so different from my experience. Of just like it was just 2 of us growing up, so I feel like we were naturally very close. But I think when there's 4 is a lot. And it's much easier, I think, when you're from a bigger family, it seems like it's easier to be more isolated from each other. I think because, I don't know if this is true, but because there's so many of you that alone time becomes more valuable. Do you feel that way?
I don't think that's what's
this is all guessing.
I think it's more that there are so many interpersonal dynamics going on at any given moment that it becomes both very complicated to I don't know, just everything there's just such high stakes to every interaction sometimes it feels like that it can get kind of stressful. But then also it's we all I like to hear about what's going on in everybody's lives, and I talk to most of them quite often. And it's that we're also entangled in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And there's so much entangling in general.
Right.
But it's my relationship with my parents is completely different when it's just me and them versus when it's me and one other sibling or me and all 3 other. Mm-hmm. And it's we all have to, just any given combination of us changes the dynamic so dramatically. And sometimes gets us to revert back to some age where we're less mature, for example.
Okay, that makes sense. There's just a lot more. Yeah, there's just a lot more dynamics at play.
Yes.
Yeah. But the debate thing. Yeah. So you did debate in high school. Did you like that?
Yeah.
But you didn't. Did you do that in college or no?
I did versions of it. I did something called Ethics Bowl in college.
Yeah.
Where you would debate ethical questions in competition.
Do you remember any of the ones that you debated?
No.
What
Not off the top of my head.
do you feel like that played into you doing stand up in any way?
Yeah, I think so.
Like just like kind of eliminated the fear of public speaking?
Yeah, I think eliminated the fear of public speaking, and I like also structuring speeches and stuff.
Yeah.
It's certainly my early approach to stand up when I was in college. College was just such a different. Did you do stand up in Vermont?
Yeah.
Was there a club there, or was there?
There wasn't a club at UVM, but like it's Burlington's so small,
Okay.
you know, that like it's downtown is like, you know, just a short walk
Right.
from campus, and that's where the comedy club was, and there were like 3 open mics a week, and so I would just do
Open.
open mics, you know, and I started like halfway through my sophomore year, you know.
Yeah.
And I would do like the 3 open mics a week most weeks, and you know, yeah. So I was able to get like, I think it was the right amount, because I think more than that I would have been like failing all my classes,
Right.
you know. But it was like the right amount. And then less than that, it's like, okay, you're not really doing comedy.
Less than 3 mics a week.
Or even like less than. There were weeks where I only went to 1, but I
Okay.
mean like.
But you tried to consistently like once a
I
week.
was consistently going to 1 to 3 mics a week.
Okay. Part of the reason I ask is because my experience in debate contributed to my experience with stand-up, in that Carleton is a tiny school in a tiny town without open mics. And
Yeah.
So I started on this like stand-up group at Carleton that only performed at Carleton. And we didn't have open mics or anything. We had 1 show a trimester, so
Yeah.
3 shows a year. And I would write a brand new 10-minute set 3 times a year. And the only time I would ever deliver it in front of a real audience, or any audience really, was at the show.
Right.
So I wasn't like working on jokes in the same way. I wasn't working on a stage presence in the same way. I was just like writing comedy,
Yeah.
and then like sort of trying to memorize it to the best of my ability. But that meant that my first experience with it was a lot of thinking about a cohesive 10-minute concept.
Which is very different than
really different.
an open mic where it's like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes, not necessarily cohesive, especially my early sets.
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
thinking about individual joke,
Yeah.
like little quantized packets of
Yes.
jokes.
Yeah. And then I would try and have these like more like cohesive sets, and it was not good because I didn't really know how to write jokes yet or like do stand up yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be like I could have like like I had some decent jokes, you know, even early on, but like if I tried to do like a longer set on the same subject, it's like just kind of rambling, and like I don't even know where the laugh lines are, or like too many words.
Uh-huh.
Did you feel like that was
I think I certainly didn't know really how to write jokes. I mean, it wasn't like good. I think that probably actually what was worst about it,
yeah.
and what was quite bad, was more my delivery and like how I understood how to like sell jokes and how to perform. I think my joke writing was kind of like, it had the elements of joke structure and stuff there. You know that the joke I do, that the ABCs joke?
I'm sure I've heard it.
Okay, it's this like 3-minute bit where I deconstruct the ABCs, and then I like use literary critical techniques to be like, this is bad because it doesn't. So that was like a thing I wrote in college that is still in my regular routine and is often people's favorite joke of mine. So I think that in some ways like my joke writing was okay back then, but I didn't know how to deliver a joke.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about things in like the way that one might think of a debate speech, where you're like trying to construct like you introduce the topic in the introduction, you signpost on what each of your points is going to be.
Yeah.
And then you go to your first point, you like sort of introduce the first point and then talk through the analysis. I mean, just like a persuasive essay or whatever.
Yeah, which essentially is what stand-up is.
But it's not really how so.
I mean, I think it's a style of stand-up. I think you look at take Chris Rock, for example. Like, that's essentially the way that he does stand-up. He introduces you to what the premise is, and then whether or not you agree with the premise or not, he sort of like takes you down this path of like, here are the reasons to support the premise, but within that, there's jokes.
Yeah, that's
so
a very
it
good
is
point.
like there's, which is not all stand-up. I mean, stand-up can be a million different things, but that is a style of stand-up, I think, and
yeah.
I think that in that way, I think debate can be really helpful, which I never did debate.
Okay. But that was, my experience was like not just introducing an individual premise. What I'm saying is introducing like the topic for the entire set, for the entire like 10-minute set. I would be like, so today we're gonna be talking about legacy and grief. Today we're gonna be talking about what it's like to be on the job market or like something. I don't know. Maybe it's similar, but
yeah. And when did you start to feel like, oh, okay, this is the thing I want to do?
When I had been working in a chemical engineering job for a year.
That was in Minneapolis?
Yeah. 2017.
And were you doing mics?
I couldn't quite balance doing mics.
It's a lot.
And, so I think I couldn't. No, I was so arrogant. Also, I was like, I shouldn't be doing mics. I've been doing shows for 3 years in college. So I was like,
wow.
where are the shows that I get to do? Like, I'm better than mics.
Yeah.
And so I also I didn't know anybody doing mics because I didn't know anybody in Minneapolis really. So it was really hard for me to like start. And then once I realized that, it's like a lifestyle, like you do mics because like that's how you get better.
Yeah.
And like I was not as good as I thought I was.
Right, because you were good in college. And that was a nice thing about starting in Vermont was that for a college student, I was very good at stand-up, I think.
Okay.
I think for a college student, I was good. Like I was, my senior year, like I was getting booked regularly on like all the local shows. And I wasn't the best comic, but I was good. I think I was like one of the like 10 best comics in the scene, I think. And
check him on that.
there might be people that disagree, but that's what I think.
Okay.
But because of that, so like if it was just college students, like maybe I would have been the best and maybe I would have been really arrogant. But I was like...
It's not just that I was arrogant because of who the other comedians were. It's because I would perform 3 times a year
doing 10
minutes in front of 100 of my peers who knew me.
Right.
Like it was the easiest crowds I could have ever performed for, and I'd only ever performed for that. And I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. So it was, Vermont was nice in the sense that like I got to do like a lot of 10 to 15 minute sets before moving here. But I also like had the experience of bombing, I had the experience of being the worst person on the show of like, and New York comics would come up to Vermont a lot, know? And so like I got to meet some of them and like be on shows with them where,
kind of a nice little starter pack for when you were
here. And so I think some people like move here from smaller scenes and they're the top dog in that scene, and so they are kind of like the experience that you had going from college to going to Minneapolis, where you're like, what the hell? Why am I doing open mics?
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, I don't expect to get booked on shows here, Now I do, and so now I do expect to get booked, and I don't, and so now it's like, now I'm like, what the hell? But also New York is so humbling in that sense, where I'm like, there's days where you have a good set, and you're like, man, I'm the best. I'm so good at this. And then there's other days where you're like, am I one of the top 1,000 comics in New York? Like, I don't.
There are days when I'm like, am I even a comedian?
Right.
Like,
is what I do anything?
Am I just a foolish man who...
Did you feel like you had, because you have like a very like alty style, like you have a clear persona on stage that is, I wouldn't say, or I'd say for me, I think I'm very much who I am off stage. I think I'm that on stage. And then it's not like you're different in conversation than you are on stage, but it's like an extension of you. It's like an exaggerated version of yourself. Mm-hmm. So how did you come to that? Do you feel like that came naturally, or that took some time?
Took time.
Yeah.
That started to develop when I was in Chicago for a year after Minneapolis, and then came more fully in the last bunch of years in New York. But it was because when Yeah, I didn't do that at all in college. In college, it was like pretty straight. And I loved Dimitri Martin, like I said, who's so heady. And so I would do really heady jokes just kind of as myself. And then I would do that in Minneapolis as well. And people liked it at Carleton because Carleton's a pretty nerdy school. And then in Minneapolis, I would get off stage and people would be like, oh, that was your jokes are so smart. That was so smart. You seem so smart. And they would never be like, that was so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I think this is bad. Like, I think that means that it's not very good comedy-wise.
Isn't that crazy how every compliment in comedy is backhanded? Like, anytime somebody tells me I have good stage presence or I'm a good performer, I'm like, so you don't think the jokes were good?
Yeah.
Or anytime somebody tells me I'm a good joker, I'm like, so you don't think I'm a good performer? Right. Like, it's impossible to just take the compliment.
But
but I think that I agree with what you're saying.
I think it was an earnest problem. Like, I think that at the time there were moments when I was like, oh, that's nice. But there was also moments when I was like, I actually, like, the point isn't to prove to people that I'm smart.
Yeah.
The point is
to make them laugh.
To make them laugh, and it's fun. So I'm being kind of nonlinear in this, but then I started realizing that if I pretended or leaned into seeming like I didn't even understand what joke I was making, they wouldn't think, they would be able to set aside the guy performing these jokes is smart, and they would just get to enjoy the jokes for being like cool or interesting or smart, if you will. And then they weren't like caught up with like being impressed with me as a person. It kind of divorced me from my jokes.
Yeah.
And that was why I really leaned into it. It's because then people were like just enjoying the comedy if they thought I didn't even get the jokes that I was making. So that's when I started doing kind of more of like the emo Phillips, like idiot savant kind of thing.
Phillips. Yeah.
And I think I've pulled it back a lot in the last few years as I've started doing more like hours on the road and stuff. And like maybe I've like started being more myself, but like this specific side of myself. But yeah, that developed very consciously as a response to being like, I'm not trying to just be smart. I'm trying to like hopefully I can say something interesting but hopefully it'll also be like funny.
And so how long were you in Minneapolis?
I was doing stand-up there for 1 year.
And then 1 year in Chicago?
Then 1 year in Chicago.
And then you moved here?
Then
Then COVID, and then you moved here? Or what?
COVID sort of straddled my Chicago and New York.
Okay, let's walk through the timeline. Minnesota is...
Carleton was 2013 to 2017. Moved to moved to Minneapolis 2017 and worked as a chemical engineer for a year. Till 2018, quit my job, started doing stand-up as a lifestyle, like 3 mics a night.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I did, besides from working like in a restaurant and other random stuff. And then at the in the summer of 2019, I moved to Chicago.
Okay.
And was in Chicago from summer of 2019 till September 1st, 2020. So like, what's that, 6 months into the pandemic?
Yeah.
And then... moved to New York September 1st, 2020.
Oh, okay. So you moved here still during COVID?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know where to... Yeah. My lease was running out in Chicago. I didn't have an apartment or a place to live, and I didn't want to necessarily move to New York. I just texted everybody I knew, and I said, find me an apartment in your city, and I'll move there.
Who'd you know here?
A couple of Carleton people.
Oh, okay. Not comics?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't move here for comedy at all. I didn't know any comedians.
Wow. But were you doing like open mics in the pandemic, or did you kind of come back in 21 when it was really coming back?
I did a couple of outdoor things, but I have Crohn's and a really weak immune system. I was really careful.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I got vaccinated that I started really doing mics.
Right. Well, and then the microchip that gave you better jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it helped me kind of navigate the city because there was a little voice in my head when I would get lost that would be like, "You're off track."
That actually would be sick.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't need a smartphone.
You've started kind of like making comedy songs too, kind of melding your two loves. Yeah. When did that start? Were you always doing that, and you just didn't really like put them out until recently?
I did comedy songs in college.
Okay.
And then I would like once a year try to do a stand-up song at an open mic, like in Minneapolis. I did it probably like once or twice in Minneapolis, once or twice in Chicago, a couple of times here in New York. But it just sucks to do them at mics. And so I would get really discouraged every single time from doing them. And then it was just in the last few months that I've been feeling a little more... Oh, here's what it was. Sorry. The reason I started doing them is because when I was doing these shows, like I mentioned in these like small towns, like doing an hour for like 4 people, they would stop listening to my jokes because they were like, we don't want to just hear you talk. And oftentimes these shows were at breweries, wineries, random bars in the middle of nowhere that had a guitar hanging on the wall. So when the crowd would stop listening, I would just get the guitar and be like, okay, I'll play this for a little while. And then I I would kind of remember my old songs that I did like 5 years ago or whatever. And slowly that was that I just was having so much fun doing that I wrote some more songs, and that was why I started back up doing them.
Okay.
And then I just on a whim, I don't know, I love recording music.
Yeah.
So there was one day when I was just kind of like I woke up, Irene had something to do that day, and then she got back 12 hours later and I hadn't eaten. I was wearing only one sock and underwear.
And were you wearing your kimono?
And I was wearing my kimono, and I actually think I wasn't. I was just like in pure mad scientist mode, having just fully recorded that kimono song.
Oh, it was the kimono song? Okay.
Yeah, like from start to finish. And then I like, she got back and she was like, you look crazy. And I was like, I had the best day ever. And that's why I was like, oh, this is so fun. So then I've like committed to doing that. And now since then I've written like 5 more songs.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, so what
Thank you.
was the idea behind the white guy in a kimono?
The idea behind it?
Yeah, like what made you be like, oh, that's a song?
When we were in Japan a year ago, every single time I would want to buy a kimono, I would start singing that in my head and then out loud to Irene.
Intentionally, like with the like Phoebe Bridgers like Kyoto tune? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I often will make up parodies on the spot just to make Irene laugh.
Yeah, that's a classic thing.
A classic thing.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, once I started, I guess, doing more songs on the road, I decided to fully write that. And then, it took me like 6 months after the trip to be like, oh, let me just write this song.
Yeah.
And then I wrote it.
I got a few parody ideas.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got one. It's like Beast of Burden, but it's I've never read East of Eden
I don't know, Beast of Burden.
by the Rolling Stones.
Maybe I'd know it if I heard it.
50 Ways to Leave Your Lover?
Yes.
50 Ways to Suck a Penis. It's
Nice.
That's
Sorry. I don't love that one.
You don't love that one?
It feels a little first thought, but
It's a little first thought.
But it could work.
First thought, best thought.
It's hard to know what will work.
It's hard to know. I also don't think I'll ever record any of these. That's the thing.
Well, can I use then 50 Ways to Suck a Penis?
You can, please.
Okay.
Well, actually,
thanks.
that one was kind of Carlos's idea. So you got to ask him.
Okay. I have a fun photo of a text that Carlos sent you earlier this year.
Oh, what was it?
Can I just pull it up?
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Let me see if I can easily find it. I was going back through all my photos this year to maybe just like do a little retrospective kind of thing. I don't know how to find it. Can I search like phone screen?
Probably.
Phone.
If his name is in it, you could search Carlos.
Okay, I can't find it. It's all right. I'll show you after the pod.
Okay, yeah. But yes, you got a little bit of virality from White Guy in a Kimono.
Yeah.
How was it all positive?
What do you mean?
Was there anybody being like, this is not okay?
No, the funniest were people who were like, that's actually a kata. And I was like, this song is actually about you. Yeah. I was like, if you're correcting.
This is the song. Yeah, you are the guy I'm singing about.
Yeah. No, that was the main thing. Like, I don't know. I guess I haven't paid much attention to the comments at all. But I think there were some people that were like debating, like, just let people wear what they want to wear. And
they're taking the song a little too seriously, or like not really understanding the satire of it.
I don't know if they understood or if they were because it exists in a larger dialogue of whatever, but and so I don't know if they were responding directly to the song or if they were responding more broadly to like the cultural niche that it's commenting on. But
you're not super online though, are you?
In what sense? I don't think so.
I feel like you're not. Like, you're not on your phone all the time. How do you do that?
What do you...
I don't know. You told me your screen time was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you stay off your phone?
I don't know. I hate my phone. I hate being on it so much.
But we all hate our phones.
I don't know then. I don't keep it in the same room as me. Are you asking me like if I have like a trick or?
Yes. Yeah. For real. Yeah.
I think it is just like passionate hatred for being online. And like I will often, if I ever catch myself like on it more than I scroll basically when I'm on the toilet, which is if I ever cure my Crohn's disease, my screen times drop into 0. But no, but if I sometimes I will find myself like looking at it and then I just like jump scare and then throw it.
How do you feel? Well, because I feel like so much comedy's online now.
Okay.
Right? So much of being a comedian is the internet.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you navigate that?
Poorly.
Yeah?
I mean, doesn't it seem like I do it poorly?
I don't know. I mean, you got a hit song. Like,
I've got one hit song, yeah.
You've had some videos that have popped a little bit.
Yeah, every once in a while. I really just hate being online and I resent the fact that I have to do it every single day. And I do, like, there's been weeks where I'll set a timer for myself to scroll through Instagram and comment, like, and share other people's things. And I'll, like, set the timer for 30 minutes to make sure that I, like, do that. Because I know that, like, engagement with people in the community is good. Yeah. And I just don't naturally do that.
Now, anytime I see you like or comment on my post, I'm going to be like, oh, Eli set his timer today.
but know that it's earnest.
I know.
It is earnest.
But it's also funny. I feel like you got to you're setting a timer to do the thing we're all setting timers not to do. Yeah, that's like being like, I got to remind myself to jerk off. Like, I just know it's good. It'll release some serotonin and endorphins. Like, I just forget.
I mean, you're on Prozac. That's a whole other can of worms.
I'm on Lexapro. You're on Prozac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will often like catch myself like I will know that I have a task to do on my phone, like posting a video. Like I've given myself a strict schedule of posting 3 times a week.
Okay.
At least. And I like edited a bunch of stand-up clips like 3 months ago and I've been like slowly posting those. And I will often find myself picking up my phone to post a stand-up clip. Like overthinking what to post or like how to post it or like what to caption it or something. Getting frustrated with the fact that I'm spending time on my phone, throwing my phone away, and then 20 minutes later being like, oh, wait, I actually meant to post something. And then going to pick up my phone and starting the process over again and like catching myself mentally being like, I don't want to be on my phone. Oh, no, literally, I have to be on my phone right now.
Huh.
Like this is part of my job.
That's so different than the direction I thought that was going to go in.
What did you think?
Well, I thought it was going to go in like what I do, where like I will forget what I open Instagram for.
Okay.
And I will just end up scrolling. Like I will open Instagram like let's say to let's say I'm responding to your DM. And I will open it for that and I'll end up like just scrolling. Like I'll forget.
My DMs are real, by the way. My DMs are not part of a timer.
No, I believe that because that's communication. Like that's just I almost wish that Instagram DMs like was like Messenger where it's like a separate app.
That would be nice.
I like because that is the thing where
you get sucked in.
That's not the thing. Yeah, because I feel like I can't. I have like the screen time limit on, but I can't because of Instagram DMs because that's a huge way of communication in comedy. Yeah. And so because of that, I can't like I can limit. I don't go on TikTok at all. I don't really go on any social media apps. Like I'm off Twitter. I'll go on Threads occasionally, just like if I'm like really bored.
Good on you.
Yeah, but Instagram, I can't get off of it because of the
Messenger,
because of the DMs, and I'm like not like I'm being hit up all the time, but it's just like on the off chance that like let's say somebody's like, hey, somebody dropped from this show, can you do a spot? Yeah. And it's like, oh, if I have my like time limit on, then I don't get to do a set, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's tough.
It's the same reason comics don't schedule vacations or leave town or like I feel like this need to keep every single night open.
Kind of, yeah. Or like it makes it hard with like it makes it hard with like dating. Like if somebody's like, hey, can you are you free this night? And it's like I am right now, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Somebody might ask me to do their poorly attended bar show, and I will choose that over hanging out with you. So why aren't you more famous?
Is this like the concluding question?
Sometimes I'll ask it in the middle, but yeah, today. Yeah.
Why am I not more famous? I think that when I started comedy, the game was very different. Is this supposed to be a joke question or an earnest? I guess I could do whatever I want.
It's kind of however you want.
The most embittered version of me thinks that it's that when I started comedy, there was one set of rules, and the rules have changed from underneath me.
I feel that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I took too long to catch up to how the rules had changed, and I'm just a dinosaur.
Yeah. And then, is that your joke answer or that's your serious answer?
That's my serious answer that comes from a place when I'm feeling at my most frustrated with my current career. The real answer, or the other like less bitter answer, is that I'm not doing stand-up or any of this stuff to be famous. I'm doing it because I love doing it. And for example, on the day when I recorded the Kimono song, I was living my dream. Like that was the best day, and being famous would not have changed the quality of that day even slightly. Like it would have maybe even been worse for having been, but that day I was doing exactly what I wanted to be doing, and it didn't matter. And I think I often just do exactly what I want to be doing.
Yeah. I think that's important to remember that like all of like the doing the thing is the dream, not the.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know like Kobe Bryant. Do you know who that is?
He did he go to Lower Marion High School in Philadelphia?
Lower Marion High School in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think
whatever happened.
No, I know what. Oh, we have to go.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta go. But anyway, there's a quote from his retirement or Hall of Fame speech where he was like, "This isn't the dream. Like the dream was like all the nights that I was like practicing, shooting in the gym, like every single game that I played. Like that's the dream." Mm-hmm. And so, tying that to comedy, that's
that exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not more famous.
Eli Ruffer.